After hearing from educators, we wanted a clearer picture of what it's like to run a district post-Red for Ed. Gabriel Trujillo is in his second year as superintendent of the Tucson Unified School District, Arizona's second largest district with more than 40,000 students and nearly 90 schools and programs. Our discussion at Sam Hughes Elementary began with how he's settled into his role so far.
We were able to do some really key things year one, and probably the biggest thing that we were able to do was really get to know the organization intimately and deeply from the school level, and to really get on the ground and say, all right, I understand what our teachers are saying because I want to hear from them. I'm talking to them. I understand what our bus drivers are saying because I see the conditions of their buses. I understand why the parents are a little upset with the district. So a lot of listening year one. Now, what we were able to do here in year two was to implement some key systemic reforms in areas of urgency, areas that we really instantly needed to get the district out of the weeds and out of the danger zone to get it into a healthier area, certainly in the area of academics when we talk about achievement on AZ merit, also in the area of school safety, which was another hot topic issue that I heard my first 30 days on the job, and certainly with regard to the state of our desegregation plan.
On the issue of desegregation, the district made some recent strides to come out from a 2013 court order stemming from a more than 40-year-old class action lawsuit filed on behalf of African American and Mexican American students and employees. Last month, a federal judge said the district achieved partial unitary status in key areas. TUSD plans to meet all of the requirements by next September and bring an end to the case. Desegregation is a cloud that has been looming over this school district for some time. This year you received some good news, or headed in a positive direction. How do you view moving forward after, given that that was such a large part of the way this district had to operate for so long?
When our team came in 2 years ago, we made a commitment to the court and to all of our stakeholders that we weren't going to aggressively fight or argue in court about whether or not we should have been under court supervision. We were going to aggressively comply. So where the unitary status plan would ask us to do A, B, or C at a school, we were going to aggressively do A, B, C, and D, and E, and F. And I think the record shows that. In the first pages of the order, the judge compliments the district for a change in attitude. And that is exactly what the court is recognizing, that we have an aggressive commitment to compliance.
Other challenges persist, like declining enrollment for the 11th straight year. Trujillo says between 700 and 1,200 kids leave each year, causing the district to miss out on tax dollars that would have followed them into the classroom.
The computers, the iPads, the uniforms, the musical instruments, the field trips, all of those magical aspects of what makes a K-12 experience wonderful for kids is tied to funding. So you have the enrollment piece. You also have our continued and well-publicized and documented challenges with facilities and with capital funding. We sit in Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is a school that is decades old. It is a school constructed from the early part of the 20th century. It has a lot of needs. We do not have the funding to take care of all of the needs of the very school that we are sitting in. And by that, we're basically telling the students in the community of Sam Hughes that, yes, we value you. Yes, we are thankful that you have chosen the Tucson Unified School District. But facilities-wise, capital funding-wise, you are getting less.
Here we are well into the 2018 academic school year. You're missing a few teachers from the classroom. How have you made that work?
Well, it's bittersweet because we, over the last 7 years, we hit a 7-year low. We opened up the school year with 81 vacancies, which is the lowest we've been in several years. Now, that's the bitter end of sweet because you're still down 81 teachers. And we do know that the most important variable in our ability to move schools and the district forward and increase student achievement is the presence of a highly qualified teacher.
The district is already doing things differently to attract and retain teachers, like doubling stipends for math and special ed teachers, and bringing qualified instructors from India to teach math and science. Trujillo also says the governing board passed a salary package that raised pay by about 10%. He says there are steps in the right direction, but more work is needed to improve academic scores. On the achievement scale, there are a handful of schools that are failing and others that are not performing probably to your standards. You've been on the record saying, I want to switch this around and I want to do it quickly. How exactly is that possible?
Well, we've instituted some systemic reforms in the areas of instruction, certainly in the areas of mathematics and English language arts instruction, that we did during the 17-18 school year when we received our scores for 16-17. The increases that we've shown as a system show that the lights have come back on. There are 9 tested grade levels for AZ merit, okay? And the Tucson Unified School District, we showed between 4 and 8% improvement across the system, and certainly not saying that the work is done, because when you look at our performance, we are still pretty much across the board under the state averages. But to be able to show a 4 to 8% improvement in 1 year's time in 5 or 6 of the 9 tested grade levels is a testament to the effectiveness of the reform efforts that we've implemented, and more importantly, a testament to the efforts of our amazing teachers that have taken that challenge on.
6 is 3,400, 7 is 70.
A typical week for Trujillo includes multiple visits to schools, where he can see firsthand how systemic changes trickle into the classroom and where there's room for growth.
Parents want their child attending an A or B school. Regardless of what we think about the state's A through F accountability system for school quality, it's the label that's placed on your school. It's a lot of times going to be a decisive factor in whether parents come into the district. It's the right work because it's why we're here, is to increase student learning and a school's effectiveness, to increase student learning. And it's also tied to enrollment.